Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, and that we're here back with part 6. 6 months later, kill me, of What If Goku Had Kurama. If you guys are new to the channel, because YouTube's recommendation system has not forsaken me yet for some reason, make sure to go up here top upper right hand corner so you can hear the younger, more kawaii version of my voice from the couple months ago. Anyway, basically you can catch up, get back to where we are, and continue the story through part 6. If you guys are enjoying this type of series and you want more of it, make sure to show that support in the likes and comment section of the video so that I can know these guys want more of this, so I'm going to make more. Anyway, since it's been so long, I'm not expecting you to go back and, rewatch the entire last part of the video, because, who has time for that? Nobody got time for that. Let's start with a little recap. Mercenary Tao had ascended the tower, Korin's tower, where he would have found Goku and Korin in the middle of a training session. Goku's still trying to chase Korin to get that mystic water. Goku having been tasked this challenge without any assistance from his friend and partner Kurama. This was something that he had to do by his own strength, which is why it was taking longer, since Goku, pretty much until this point in the story, has been using Kurama like a crutch, making him weaker than he was in the original canon of Dragon Ball. Well, just him weaker. With Kurama and him together, he blows the original Goku out of the water, but we'll ignore that for now. Basically, Korin and Goku be interrupted by Mercenary Tao. It's at this point when Korin would intervene, telling Goku to hold up for a second. Walking over as he and Mercenary Tao would engage in conversation. Goku turning and seeing Mercenary Tao and getting angry, about to step into the fight. Kurama would tell Goku to calm down and watch, saying to let Master Korin handle this. Goku would tighten his fist, thinking that he still hasn't gotten any stronger, watching Korin interact with Mercenary Tao. This eventually leading to Tao deciding to take the water for himself after Korin was explaining the training they were doing, and Mercenary Tao getting thrown off the tower by Korin back to the bottom, this enraging him as he starts climbing the tower yet again. Korin returned to Goku, saying that's the only time he's going to do that, telling Goku that by the time this mercenary climbs back to the top, then he's gonna have to let Goku and Mercenary Tao fight it out. Basically putting a time constraint on Goku. Goku, using his own strength, would chase Korin tirelessly throughout the days, until inevitably, Goku, much like the original timeline, would have finally caught Korin, catching the sacred water off his stick and drinking it fully. Goku, after drinking it, would feel exactly the same. Huh? You're sure this isn't some other water, or maybe it expired? Goku would ask. Korin would laugh, saying that the real sacred water is right in there in that bottle, telling him that he fights Tao now, he'll definitely win. Goku would sigh, saying if he says so, saying he'll trust Korin, with him and Kurama descending the tower. Thanking Korin for all of his help, Korin would give Goku one last gift of a sensu bean. Goku descending the tower after consuming the bean and his energy being completely replenished. Goku, who descends the tower, would find Mercenary Tao halfway. Tao and Goku's eyes crossing each other as Goku's falling down the great height and Tao's climbing up it. Tao would turn back, lunging down towards Goku as the two fight mid-air while they're falling towards the ground at increasing speeds. Goku wouldn't even ask for Kurama's help, seeing this attack easily. Goku would use his tail, grabbing Mercenary Tao's hand mid-air and pulling himself out of the way so that Tao begins to fall by himself, Goku now higher up. It's at this point that Goku would summon his chakra and ki, mixing them to create a Biju Dama. Goku forms his energy, his life energy now convulsing and forcing its way into the shape of a ball, quickly getting heavier and heavier as Goku speeds up towards the ground from its gravity, slamming the mass of energy into Tao as the bomb would explode, causing a huge crater in the ground. Tao's clothes and one of his arms being ripped off. And of course, Tao, realizing how far out of his league Goku was now, Goku would decimate him. Tao using his last resort and saying he gives up, Goku about to give in and let him go, even though he had killed Upa's father, when he'd say, "Ha! Psych!" as he tries to basically kamikaze Goku and throws a bomb, small hand grenade at Goku. Goku would kick this back up to Tao, who had jumped into the air to avoid it, the bomb hitting Tao and taking away the rest of his body, as he seemingly disappears in the flash of light and the explosion afterwards. Upa would thank Goku for avenging his father's death. Goku patting him on the head and saying just give him a bit of time, saying he'll be back in like an hour or something.
Goku would call Flying Nimbus, as he and Kurama would speed off towards the direction where the rest of the Dragon Balls are, using the Dragon Ball locator Bulma had given him. Goku would disrespect the Red Ribbon Army. Goku would make the Red Ribbon Army look like he was ripping through shreds of paper. Kurama would lend Goku strength, causing Goku to enter the 2 tails, almost the 3 tails Jinchuriki cloak mode. This basically gives Goku enough speed, strength, and durability combined with his new powers from training by himself with Krillin to speed blitz all of the army and rip through them easily, destroying everyone in the entire facility, even Dr. Gero's son, which would come up later in the future, and eventually making it to Commander Red and Officer Black, the 2 head honchos left at the top of the Red Ribbon Army. Goku, even with their shenanigans and the robots, Commander Red being betrayed after Officer Black hears his only wish for the Dragon Balls is to make himself taller. This is when Officer Black would use his combat robot and kill Commander Red, causing Officer Black versus Goku. However, in this version, the fight's even less interesting than it was in the original. Goku's Kamehameha being red, filled with the Kyuubi's chakra, completely destroying Officer Black, and now having completely vanquished the Red Ribbon Army. Goku would take the Dragon Balls and leave to go back to Appa, where he would tell Appa that he's going to bring his father back from the dead, telling Appa about the mystical tale of the Dragon Balls. Goku would then wish to revive Appa's father, jumping up to an incredible height as the dragon has fulfilled the wish and grabbing the 4-star ball before it disappears. The rest of the Dragon Balls now flying off into the distance, to be spread around the world for them to regain energy for yet another year until the dragon's power has been fully revitalized. And so, Goku's journey training would come to an end, and the end of the Red Ribbon arc for now. Goku would return now swimming across the ocean, as he is now realizing that it's almost time for the next World Martial Arts Tournament. This, of course, being where we're going to meet 2 new interesting characters. 3, actually, that being the Turtle Hermit versus Crane situation, with Tien Shinhan and Chaozu. Goku would tell his friends, having met them now at the new site of the tournament, about how he had just swam across the ocean from an island. This would be incredible and terrifying to both Bulma, Roshi, and Krillin, realizing that's almost halfway across the world. Goku would smile and laugh, saying, yeah, as he'd be presented with his new tournament outfit, now back with the Turtle Hermit logo. Ready for his next and second martial arts tournament, he'd be excited to fight Jackie Chan again, asking Master Roshi if he thinks he's going to show up. Roshi saying he hasn't seen him yet, thinking if he's actually wanting to apply this time, wondering if it's worth it. Right as these thoughts occur is when the Crane Hermit School would arrive, mocking the Turtle Hermit and his students, saying that they're old hat, and that it's now time for the Crane to rise. This would be when Roshi would decide he's definitely going to enter the tournament, if not to defeat Goku, in order just to teach these young whippersnappers what's really going on here. He and Shen would have an argument as per the anime, and the story would continue on with preliminary rounds. I'm gonna be honest, since there's a lot to cover in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, since that's the time we'll be following for this, I'm gonna skim through this portion of the arc until we get to the King Piccolo arc, because frankly, not much is going to change in this entire arc except for the Ten Shinhan versus Goku fight at the very end. So pretty much the entire tournament would go the same until it comes out with Goku fighting Ten Shinhan. You see, Ten Shinhan would use his clone technique, which is where Goku would get an idea. Goku asking Kurama if he thinks they could do that. This is when Goku remember that filler arc from a couple episodes ago, the Star Clan, that ninja clan who used chakra in the world of DBZ, who actually had created the legendary multi-shadow clone jutsu in this world. Goku would tell Tien that he can do that too, smiling, as he says that his is way better than Tien's though, creating 100 shadow clones. Tien would be immensely impressed, thinking that it takes him splitting his energy into each clone to make a new one. So, they must be incredibly weak is what he's thinking. Goku would use his shadow clones to confuse Ten Shinhan, as Tien would realize that these clones are acting independently of the original, making him a perfect copy. Goku and Tien's clones would fight for a while, with Goku's clones poofing into smoke whenever they were hit hard. Goku would be using this time to come up with a strategy, realizing that Tien is way stronger than him without Kurama's help in terms of physical strength. Goku would then seemingly disappear, Goku having jumped high into the air into the sun, mimicking the technique he had seen from Nam in the first tournament. Tien would be looking around wondering where all the clones had went, Goku having deactivated them to create a huge burst of smoke to cover his tracks. It's up here that Goku would then use a vermilion Kamehameha wave, a red Kamehameha wave like he had used back during the Red Ribbon arc. As he blasted towards Tien, this Kamehameha wave would be far stronger and faster than any he had used so far in this fight. Tien would turn, having to block it with his own attack, using Kikoho, the Tri-Beam. The two powerful techniques would fight with each other for a bit, as this beam struggle would go on for around 30 seconds. That being all the time Tien has left before he moves out of the way. The blast falling as he doesn't want to sacrifice too much of his life force to just win one beam struggle. In this version, Goku's vermilion Kamehameha wave would decimate the arena, creating a huge crater, like how Tien's Kikoho had done in the original. And with that, the rest of the fight would proceed with Goku and Tien now being forced into that height situation. Goku hitting the car and Tien winning by an unfair advantage in his mind. Tien being the one to win the World Martial Arts Tournament, even though Goku was technically beating him senseless the entire time. Something that doesn't happen though is Tien never did get to do that volleyball chain attack he had done in the original, where he folded Goku into a ball and slapped him around for a while. Goku did not let that shit slide. No, Goku really got out of that quickly, with Tien being on the back foot through most of this fight. With Tien now winning, everyone would go off to celebrate the end of the newest tournament, with them going out to get food, Roshi having successfully turned Tien away from the dark path of his former teacher and his idol, Tao, who he had been made aware Goku had killed. And thus, Krillin would go back to get Goku's stuff, his Dragon Ball and Power Pole that he left behind, and that's when Krillin would be killed by Tambourine. Now, when Goku goes back to try and find Krillin and see what happened, Goku running out of the restaurant saying he has a bad feeling, going to find Krillin. As he opens the door, he'd see Krillin's body lying motionless. Goku running over to try and help him would hold Krillin up, shaking him, asking him if he's okay. Krillin not responding. Goku's eyes would turn red and slit-like as he would begin to enter into the QB rage form, his hair flowing up and red enveloping him. A bit of gold actually streaking through his aura, something that's not from Kurama, mixing into this power, causing it to burn brighter like a flame. Goku's teeth begin to elongate as he growls, saying he's gonna make them pay. I'll make whoever did this pay! Goku would turn storming out, Roshi telling Goku not to go, Roshi knowing that someone must have awakened Demon King Piccolo, recognizing this calling kill card, that being the claws on Krillin's face and how he had died. He would tell Goku not to go, who would ignore him, Goku running off and hopping on his flying Nimbus, charging after the energy signal of who had just killed Krillin. Goku would barely be holding on to his senses as he enters into the QB tailed state, the tailed beast mode where his full entire body is covered with that dark red chakra and energy. Goku would having streaks of gold within this energy, being something within himself. His own tail but turning into one of the 9 as Kurama's tails would emerge. Kurama and Goku feeling both rageful at this exact same moment over their friend's death. And so, Goku would catch up with Tangerine flying behind him as Goku would jump off of the Nimbus with all fours covered with Kyuubi's chakra. Goku screeching out as he begins to fall towards the earth, blasting a Biju Dama out of his mouth at Tangerine and snapping one of his wings, the two plummeting towards the surface as they crash into the ground. Goku pulling himself up as he's now on all fours in a beast-like state. As the fight between Goku and Tambourine would begin, Goku entering into the 6-tail state. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Goku Had Kurama, make sure to hit the like button, comment below what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. Sorry this part's a little shorter. I want to cut off before we get into the King Piccolo arc, since after the King Piccolo arc, we're going to be going directly into the next World Martial Arts Tournament and the finale for Dragon Ball, as well as getting into Dragon Ball Z with Raditz, since all of that can be covered in about the same average time that most of my average videos length would be
with most of that time going to be the fights between Piccolo and Goku, Piccolo and Goku again after the World Martial Arts Tournament, and the Raditz fight. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next part. Bye.